Elijah Griffin, the number one defensive lineman, Isaiah Gibson, the number one edge, Zayden Walker, the number one linebacker. You mentioned the phrase, and I was going to bring this up too. You say it. I love it when you say it. Football is a genetic sport. I feel like all three of those guys really fit into that football is a genetic sport DNA.
Yeah, and this is where I think the strength of Georgia's class is. And, coincidentally, like Georgia, all right, you look at the 2025 projected depth chart, where they're going to need some help right away. It's in that front seven, and more specifically, the guys that are in the trenches. They need some individuals to kind of come in, given what they're losing. I mean, they're going to potentially lose, it could be 2 or 3, first round picks up there, at least 1 or 2 of them. And Elijah Griffin, seeing him in Orlando, another one where it was like the first exposure point in a while. And yeah, we watched the tapes, we watched the games, but then you get around this kid and he shows a little bit more than he does on tape. I mean, he kind of dictated practices at the Under Armour All-American game, and they're not as ramped up as they are at the Navy All-American Bowl. But I thought he was excellent. I mean, he's a kid that's legitimately 6'4", 300 pounds, carries it extremely well. And to me, it's like, okay, I can see this guy playing for Georgia, given kind of the need they have in the interior. And yeah, playing a lower level of competition there in the Peach State, but it's year-over-year production. I mean, we're talking over 60 tackles for loss, close to 40 sacks over a 4-year stretch. I mean, he has checked off box after box. And the freaky thing with Elijah Griffin, back when he was like a sophomore, had a 30-inch vertical jump, over 30 inches at like 280 pounds. So he's got some juice there. Isaiah Gibson, he's another one where like the weight has fluctuated. He's been 245 pounds. He's been 270 pounds. We didn't get him in San Antonio. We were kind of hoping he would be there. I think he's like the ideal 4-eye, and I'm interested to see what Georgia does with him, because I think you could stand him up, but I think his future is going to be hand in the dirt, a guy that can hold up traffic. He knows how to use those long levers, another kind of exceptional multi-sport athlete. Zayden Walker, to me, our player comp for him has been Jalen Walker, and he's been a fun and unique evaluation. And I bring up Jalen Walker because I think Zayden Walker, no relation. Like, I think he's got on-ball, off-ball versatility. And I kind of lean maybe more of an edge rusher with him than I do a traditional kind of like interior linebacker. I think that's his future. Another one where it's like, all right, we're hoping to get him at one of these all-star games. He stays with Georgia. That's fine. But really stands out to me on Zayden Walker is the day before he went on his official visit to UGA, he worked out for Kirby Smart and those guys at one of Kirby Smart's summer camps. And like, in this age, it is so insane to me that like this blue chip established prospects, like, yeah, I'll run the 40-yard dash for you. Yeah, you can put a GPS system on me. Yeah, I'll go through some pass rushing drills. Like, I think they have found a guy that fits that program. And then, the other thing on the defensive line, right? So they had 3 5-stars that finished for us. Darren Ikinnagbon, Chase Linton, like, I would classify those guys as 5-star talents. Like, we just didn't have the live exposure to them. Like, both of those individuals were seriously like considered, as we met for the final 5-star ranking. Like Chase Linton, man, I think you watch what he did as a senior. You want to talk about a late bloomer, like his edge tape is up there with all the other guys in this edge class. Darren Ikinnagbon, over 100 tackles. I think he's another 4-eye, very young for the grade, wrestling background. So yeah, Georgia reloaded at the point of attack. And it kind of follows up what they did last year, building that Great Wall of Athens. Like, the future of the trench play for Georgia looks very, very bright in my eyes when we try to project a few years down the line.